How's it going, guys? I hope you're all doing well out there today, wherever you are in the world. And in this video, I want to revisit my Suhr Classic Pro S. I can't seem to talk today. Revisit my Suhr Classic Pro S. I did a video on this just after I got it, and I've made quite a few changes since then. So I'm going to leave a link to the original video that I did on this for anyone that's interested. If you haven't seen that yet, watch that first. So I wanted to fill you in on the changes that I've made for any of you nerds out there that are interested. And just a general report of how I'm getting on. I'll throw in some tones as well of my current live amp. I think it gives a good idea of where I'm at tonally with it. So getting into it, the changes that I've made first off is I have installed these Wilkinson locking saddles, the WLS130s. Now I saw these being installed on a lot of Suhrs, and I think Suhr offer them as a standard now. Pete Thorne has them on his signature model. And I just wanted to give them a go because it's supposed to improve tuning stability. And I can report that it definitely does improve tuning stability. Not drastically, I wasn't having mega problems with this guitar, but it is more stable than it was before. My only complaint about these is that I appear to be breaking more strings using these saddles than I did with the original bent steel ones. One of the other reasons I went for these as well is I prefer a flatter feeling under the palm. These do that. They feel really modern and sleek. But yeah, I seem to be breaking more strings. I don't know if that's to do with the setup. I'm looking into it currently. It's breaking different strings, so I don't think it's a rough saddle or anything like that. But it could be user error. I will hold my hands up. But yeah, so I like them. They sound great. They feel great and they do aid tuning stability, but currently shredding a few more strings than I would expect. The next change that I've made is installing the Suhr SSH Plus bridge pickup. I originally had the SSV, which was a fantastic sounding pickup and blended really well. It was a lower output thing with the other pickups in this guitar. Some of the gigs that I'm doing and some of the recordings that I'm doing, the SSV just sounded a little too classic to me. It was very unforgiving. It was quite bright. Very, very nice pickup for certain things, but I was just craving a little bit more juice from it, a sort of mid-push perhaps, and a little bit fuller sounding. And the SSH Plus has really solved that issue. When I put the SSH Plus in, I did put black covers on the other two pickups, just to try it out. I'm not sure I like it. Well, I do like it. I don't know if I love it. But yeah, so the black covers have changed, but they're the same pickup. So we've got the V70 in the middle and the V60 LP in the neck. The other change you may notice is that I've changed the pickguard out. I'd say a very big thanks to my friend Pat, who actually sold me this guitar originally, for sorting out the pickguard. So the classics come with volume, tone, standard Strat kind of setup, which I found really useful actually. I used the tone controls on this more than I've used tone controls on any other guitar. The issue was live, I was knocking it quite a lot, and I had two pots go bad, crackly, where I think I was knocking into them while playing and bending the pot shaft. So this now is a master volume. And then I've got a tone control that's just for the neck and middle pickups. I'm tempted, now I've used it a little bit, to change that tone out, that single tone, for the bridge, because I liked before getting a slightly more rolled off kind of sound with the tone control for the bridge. So we'll see where we get to with that. It's a work in progress, as are all my guitars. But yeah, so those are the changes I've made, I think, since the last video. As I say, if you haven't watched that video already, check it out. But yeah, I'll just give you a few tones. Obviously, there's tones in the other video, but I'll give you some. I'm plugged into my current live amp of choice, which is the Custom Audio Amplifiers PT100, which is an absolute monster amp, and I will do some videos on it and probably some Kemper Profiles if you're interested. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, so this is just running straight into the clean channel of the PT100 setup, slightly broken up. We'll start on the neck pickup. Neck and middle. And then my middle position is bridge, split and neck for a telly type thing. So this is where it starts getting different. This is the SSH Plus in the bridge and the V70 in the neck. Currently not set to auto split. I quite like it a little bit fuller. Sounds like this. And that's probably one of my favourite positions on this guitar now. It was before, but it did sound a little weedy, I think, with the bridge humbucker doing the things now. And just so you've heard it, I don't really use a bridge humbucker on clean, but it sounds like this. So I think you can hear there that it's a little bit more, well, quite a lot more mid-pushed than the SSV. The thing is, it reminds me, I read this online, so it's not my own opinion. I've been somewhat influenced, but it does remind me a bit of a Duncan JB, but not so honky. I think it feels like the mids are in a slightly different place, but it's a very full, awesome sounding pickup, and you'll hear it more so when we go to some gain sounds. I'm just going to engage the Unit 67 compressor, which is a new one on me. It sounds outrageously good. It's sort of a compression boost thing. But adding that on top of it with that position, bridge and middle just sounds glorious. And with that compression as well, it just absolutely bosses at the funk stuff. That's glorious. That's the kind of sound I want out of an S-type guitar in that kind of position. And just to play a little more, I'll just play through some pickup positions. Oh, with the compressor on, you get quite a nice, the amp's breaking up, you get quite a nice Knopfler-y type tone out of it. Sort of Knopfler with some hair there. But yeah, I'll just play through some other positions with that compressor on. So that's the guitar on clean. Let me just switch over to the channel 2, so kind of crunchy, and we can have a listen to the SSH Plus. So that's set for a fairly reasonable, like a mild overdrive, but the pickup just sings, man. You know what I mean? It's got that. It is slightly nasal for that mid-range push, but it's not honky. And it does, you know, the real crunchy thing while still sounding open. And then with an overdrive sound, that position 2 or 4, depending on your opinion. That kind of thing. It sounds wicked. Now you can check out the other video for more in-depth tones, but I'll just play a little bit more on that crunchy kind of sound. The new bridge pickup balances really nicely with the neck pickup. You have to forgive a bit of hum here. This does have the Suhr silent single coil thing going on, but I am sat really close to my amp with massive transformers in it, so I think it's giving it a bit of a buzz. So a really nice, well-rounded guitar, and you get that nice bite with the other positions. I'm just going to put the boost on now, so we've got a slightly higher gain thing, so you can hear that with the bridge pickup. So when I'm doing more overdriven stuff, I'm normally flicking between the bridge pickup and the neck pickup. And I think they sound really balanced. Obviously, the neck pickup is slightly lower output, but you get a more sort of percussive kind of thing. Sorry, the playing is not particularly inspired today, but you get the idea. Hopefully that showed you off that kind of character of the new bridge pickup. Would anyone be interested in an actual head-to-head shootout between the SSV and the SSH Plus? Let me know in the comments. It'll be a bit of a fiddly one to do, but I will gladly oblige. I'm quite curious to hear them side by side anyway. So just before we end this video, I wanted to do a quick recap on this guitar, how I'm getting on with it after months of owning it from the first video. Obviously, I made quite a few changes to my preferences, and I've got it to a place now where I'm enjoying it even more than I did when I got it. Like I said, I am struggling a little bit with string breakage, but I'm investigating that. I imagine there is probably a reason. So I'm doing my best to figure it out. As far as an all-round gigging guitar, I mean, they're hard to beat. They are a lot of money, as I mentioned in my first video, but I think for the playability, they are fantastic. I will mention, however, that I have struggled. Some gigs, this guitar is absolutely rock solid tuning wise, and some gigs it goes for a bit of a wander. And the only thing I can think that it is temperature change. Some of my gigs are two ends of the spectrum as far as freezing cold for sound check and then really hot when people are in there. And I wonder if it's that. All guitars suffer with that to an extent, but I wonder if it, like the floating bridge combined with that, sends it a little bit wafty at times. I mean, it's never bad. It's just I noticed that G string going for a wander, and then it will come back in when I dip the bar. So this possibly in need of a little bit of setup action. Everything's well lubricated, but on the whole, it's an absolutely astounding guitar and one of my favorites in my collection. Thanks for joining me today, just for a quick run and gun look at some mods on this guitar. I was asked about it in a message on Instagram, so I figured it would make a good video for anyone that's as nerdy as me. If you haven't already, please look at subscribing to the channel, and I hope to see you in another video in future. Cheers, guys.